Now, love comes in many forms, from that of a parent or partner to that of a close friend. In a new book, many prominent Australians from all walks of life are sharing their words from the heart. Among them, our very own Mr. Paul Kennedy.
Well, author Walter Mikac created letters of love in memory of his daughters, Alana and Madeline, and wife Nanette, who were killed in the Port Arthur massacre in 1996. Walter joins us now in the studio. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I completely get why you would focus on love, but why a book and why letters?
Well, I was really inspired by Alana. So, I mean, after Port Arthur happened, obviously, there's a lot of soul searching, and I went looking through her school books and drawings, and everywhere there was these letters like, thank you, Mum and Dad, for doing this, for taking us there. And, you know, they obviously still sustain me in many ways. And I thought, with the 20th anniversary of the foundation, that asking people to share a letter of love, either something that they'd already written or something that they would like to have written, that it was a great way of remembering the anniversary and also honouring, you know, that love and the spirit of Alana and Maddie and Nanette.
And letters, unlike conversations, Walter, are permanent. This book will stay on forever. People committing words to paper, that paper will stay on forever. So that leads more of an impact than having a basic conversation on love.
Yeah, definitely, because in there, a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of letters there to themselves in the future. I know Cameron Daddo's one is to himself when he's 80, and about not being grumpy and about all those things that we want to be and we aspire to be, but you know, sometimes we need to be reminded. We need to remind ourselves along the way to do it the way we want.
And in fact, Lee Sales, in her letter to her boys, she writes that you'll find this book on a shelf and that will be the letter that I've written to you.
Yeah.
So, you know, just the book itself has become part of that longevity and process.
Yeah, I was laughing at that because she was saying how with the second son,
the first one got a couple of letters.
Yeah, the first one got about 5 or 6, and then the second one was. She said, "This is it."
Yeah, the perils of the second child.
Yeah. PK's written a fantastic letter. We'll bring Paul into the conversation in a moment. But you, Walter, have written what I thought was a very touching letter to your parents. Tell us about that.
Well, my mum and dad, I feel pretty inspired by them. They had a pretty tough upbringing, you know, during World War II. My mum lost her parents when she was 8. She'd lost both mum and dad, lost a couple of her siblings, and you know had to leave, be brought up by her brothers and sisters, came to Australia. So it was, you know, and what they were able to give us as kids was fantastic, really, you know, and I just feel really grateful to them. And I thought, you know, as they get older, it's really a case of I really want to acknowledge it to the world, and here's a great way of doing it, like by writing them the letter.
Yeah, tell us about the great story you and your brother, the test of strength you played with your dad.
Well, this, yeah, and it's interesting that you can relate to it. But Dad would always say, you know, hit me, or you know, punch me in the stomach, you know, punch me as hard as you can. So we'd be doing that, and we just loved, you know, as boys, 3 boys, all having a great shot at it. Yeah. And then my middle brother Stephen has actually taken a run up down the hallway and done the rhino, except he's gone a bit low and caught him right in the genitals. And I'll tell you what, he was very uncomfortable for weeks after that.
Yeah. Did the game stop?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, at least for a few months.
A bit black and blue.
Yep.
Paul's written a very touching letter as well.
I'm not going to do that, by the way,
No.
because my middle child would do the same thing.
It would indeed. Tell us about your letter and why you wanted to commit what you wrote into writing.
Well, mine's to my 3 sons about how much I love Kim, and I chose that because I've written actually books to my boys ever since they were born. I got some leather-bound diaries which I knew would be more than valuable, so I've written a lot to them about their growing up so they can remember their childhood. But one of the things I haven't done is written about how their mum and dad fell in love and how much I do love their mum. So, and you know, I've put it in the context that they're 10, 9 and 4 now, and that they can read it when they're in their 30s and 40s. When they know what relationships are about and good and bad times, and they might be able to reflect. And the last sort of line is that the love that we have for each other, much like Walter was talking about his parents there, I think it does help fill up kids with love, which leads to resilience and reminds them that they're full of the good stuff. So that's why I did it.
And what did Kim say when she read it?
She didn't say that much.
I just love the fact
She
that
was moved by it,
you've
yeah.
acknowledged that, in a public forum that's out there. It's, that's a really,
Yeah.
especially from a male perspective, because I think guys just want to be a bit macho and don't really share those emotions as much as we should, and so I think it's a really good thing.
Well, particularly with the boys, and I guess they know, we talk about, how we met and our first date, and it was a bit of a calamity after that, but, I don't know how I hung in there really, but they don't know about what I was going through in my personal life when I met Kim, and so just from my perspective and how much the love of parents means to us and should mean to them, and that it'll fill them up, it's the fire inside that'll keep burning.
You're a bit of a
tough times.
tearaway. You've pointed this out various times in the past, PK, when Kim basically put you back on the straight and narrow.
She was your saviour,
Yeah,
really,
I think
isn't it?
Kim saved me in a way. It's hard to tell whether I would have got back on track anyway, but there's no doubt that Kim changed my life.
Yeah.
We've known each other 19 years now, so.
Oh, wow.
And so she's been pretty good for me,
She's a fabulous woman, absolutely fabulous.
to say the least.
Saint Kim, as we'll call her.
Yeah.
The foundation, the Alana and Madeline Foundation, has been doing fantastic work for 20 years. We've been down to your workshop in South Melbourne, where volunteers pack help bags for kids in distress and at risk. Is it becoming more of a problem? Are you having to help more kids in danger, Walter?
Well, over the period of time we've been going, we've packed 60,000 of the Buddy backpacks, and that's a lot. I find that really confronting that we have got that amount of that extent of a problem with people having to leave in violent situations. But I mean, for me, I love the fact that the kid leaves the home and they don't have anything because it's been obviously a traumatic situation. They get given this cool backpack. It's got pyjamas, teddy bear, toothbrush, all those little things that make them feel like there's someone who cares.
Yep.
And that's really the ethos of the foundation, is that we're there to help in that immediate situation.
Some of your programs are now being used in Denmark, is that right? Because of course Princess Mary is your ambassador.
It is. So Buddy Backpacks is also that is one of the programs that's run by the Mary Foundation, and they're very fortunate. They've got big companies like Lego donate, and a number of other ones to the things that go into their Buddy Backpacks. But so there's that, and that runs in all schools in Denmark and their territory, so Greenland and a few other places. So it's pretty amazing that's spread right around the world.
And with this book, how did you decide who you would approach? Why PK, for example? Well, let's not.
Why not?
Why not? But I'm just wondering, what was the thought process?
Well, we just wanted a diverse group, and we wanted diverse messages, and I think we've really achieved that, because we've got, like Jimmy Barnes's Love Letter to Music.
It's beautiful.
That
Wasn't it?
really,
Yeah.
because I know I've met Jimmy and I know him, and we met through our meeting on the Insight program many years ago. And he's had a tough battle over life, even though he's in a good position now. And it's people sharing the highs and the lows, and
Julian Burnside wrote one to Australia.
yes, exactly. And Bob Brown's one to to environment. It's it covers a whole gamut of areas, which is really what we set out to do. So it's been very fortunate.
Can I just say before you go, if people want to read the book, I mean, lots of people will buy books about wellness and to make yourself feel better and all of that sort of stuff. But this is the ultimate. It gives you a boost, and it's very, very inspirational.
Very
Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up proudly.
It's a
Walter.
happy book.
Yeah, I think it is, and
It's inspiring.
That's
Yeah, it is. It
It's-
absolutely
it's-
is.
People will get all kinds of messages that they're going to help them through day-to-day life.
Yeah, well done.
And it helps
Thank
the
you.
foundation. So
Yeah, all the proceeds go to the foundation. So thank you very much.
You're amazing, Walter. You're amazing, PK.
Thank you.
You're amazing as well, Ali.
You too.
filled with love here on the morning couch.
Thanks very much.
Can you hang about for a bit just so that
Feel the
keep
love.
the feeling going?
Good stuff. Thanks very much. Walter Mikak there.